Mikey Madison is one of Hollywood's rising stars, and it turns out her journey to the spotlight was shaped by her upbringing. So, who are her parents and how did they influence her career? Let's find out. Mikey grew up in California's San Fernando Valley with her parents, both psychologists and 4 siblings.
So you lived here from 13, you said?
I think, yeah, from 13 to 21.
Her dad specializes in schizophrenia, while her mom works primarily with children. Now, you'd think that being raised by psychologists would naturally lead to a career in, well, psychology. But nope. Acting wasn't even on her radar at first. Instead, she was all about horseback riding, a passion passed down from her mom and even her grandmother.
I was riding horses before I could walk. I was sitting on a pony.
Her childhood was filled with dirt roads and long days at the barn in Santa Clarita. She was so committed that she started homeschooling herself in 7th grade just to spend more time with her pony.
I was one of those weird horse girls that would gallop around the grass during lunchtime, and yeah, that was me.
But things took a turn when she got hooked on movies, thanks to her dad, who was a major film buff. She grew up watching classics from Woody Allen, Tarantino, Sofia Coppola, and Scorsese, and then came Pretty in Pink. After seeing Molly Ringwald on screen, she thought she wanted to be a fashion designer. Her mom even signed her up for sewing classes. But pretty soon, Mikey realized it wasn't the clothes she loved. It was the acting.
I was a big daydreamer as a kid, and I still am.
That's when her mom stepped in again, signing her up for her first acting class.
You're the best mom in the world.
From there, she started auditioning, taking small roles in indie films and eventually landing her big break in Better Things in 2016. She's called the show her college and film school all in one, saying it taught her everything about acting. After that, she scored roles in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Scream. And finally, her breakout role came with Anora, earning her major recognition. Not too bad for someone who once thought she'd be a fashion designer.
Has your family seen the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Was that an uncomfortable situation for you, your family seeing the movie?
No, I mean, if anyone's uncomfortable, that's kind of their problem, I think.
Right, yeah.
Mikey is one of 5 kids, and she's the only actor in the family. But it sounds like creativity runs in their genes. Her sister married a writer, and one of her younger brothers is into parkour. Imagine growing up in a house full of that much energy. She's also one of the twins, which adds another fun twist to her story.
Yeah, those are my brothers, and that's me. Me as a baby. Wearing that hat, actually.
Now, having psychologists for parents has actually given Mikey a unique edge in acting. She said that growing up in that environment helped her understand people better, why they do things, what motivates them, and even what holds them back.
For whatever reason, it's easier to go to those emotional places within a character, you know, behind the guise of somebody else who's not me.
And while her parents weren't constantly psychoanalyzing her, they did encourage their kids to be in touch with their emotions. When Mikey was little and didn't know what she was feeling, her mom would guide her through it. Are you sad? Happy? Why do you think you feel that way? Turns out, that skill has been pretty useful in her career.
We're getting ready for the Elle Women in Hollywood event, and my mom's coming. Hello?
Eventually, Mikey had to make a tough choice. Stick with horseback riding or go all in on acting. She felt a deep pull toward acting, saying she craved the emotional depth and connection it offered. And while walking away from horses wasn't easy, she knew she had to give acting her all. Safe to say, that decision paid off. Now I'm so happy for Mikey and all the recognition she's getting. But I've got to say, there were a few Oscar snubs this year that I wish we could have seen get some love too. Big names like Angelina Jolie, Nicole Kidman, Daniel Craig, Denzel Washington, Selena Gomez, and more were left out in the cold, sparking some serious side-eye from fans. Let's break it down. First up, Angelina Jolie. She delivered what many are calling the performance of her career in Maria, a film that had critics raving. But despite all that praise, Jolie didn't land a single nomination. Not one. Hard to believe, right? People were gearing up to see her name all over the list, but the Academy had other plans.
I trained for months.
Then there's Daniel Craig, who's been absolutely killing it post Year 07. His role in Queer scored him nominations from the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, and SAG Awards, basically the awards season trifecta. But when it came to the Oscars, nada. Would the Academy say that to William S. Burroughs' face? Doubtful.
Nick, you said too that this is the role you've been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, how amazing to have done what I've been able to do with my career and then sort of at the stage of my career get on with this.
Pamela Anderson's fans are feeling the sting too. Her role in The Last Showgirl as Shelley has already earned her nods at the Gotham Awards, Golden Globes, and SAG Awards. But for the Oscars, nothing. It's especially surprising since this was her shot at Best Actress for a film that had people buzzing.
That I was capable of more than just running around in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
So I figured, I wanted to give this a shot, and I poured everything into it, and I'm really glad that everyone loves it.
Now, Denzel Washington. A living legend, and yet his jaw-dropping performance in Gladiator 2 went unnoticed by the Academy. How? This is the guy who's won 2 Oscars and just received a delayed Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Biden. His epic portrayal in Gladiator 2 was nothing short of a masterclass. If there was ever a time for gold, it was now. But it seems the Academy had other ideas.
You are a winner, sir. 2 Oscars, 2 of them.
But I lost 8 times.
Yes, you have lost more than you won.
See?
Yeah. That's the first time.
Finally, Nicole Kidman. This one might be the biggest head-scratcher of all. Kidman has been racking up awards for her role in Baby Girl, Best Actress at the Venice Film Festival, another win from the National Board of Review, and a box office success that broke her 15-year dry spell. Yet, when it came to the Oscars, no nomination. None.
Heading to the Oscars? I have no idea.
In Baby Girl, Nicole plays Romy, a powerful CEO who finds herself in a passionate affair with her much younger intern, played by Harris Dickinson. Antonio Banderas steps in as her husband, Jacob, and the tension between these characters really took things to another level.
There is elements of experimentation, and you can express yourself.
The story is bold, raw, and, according to Nicole, deeply relatable. A lot of times, women are discarded at a certain period of their career as a sexual being, she explained.
As much as you appear like you're confident, you've got it all together, there's so many times when you're like, I'm shattered, or I'm exhausted. Or...
This role was beautiful because it allowed me to explore that in a way I hadn't seen before. My character seems to have it all: power, success, but she's unsure of who she is or what she really desires. And isn't that something we can all relate to on some level?
Yes, there's sex, but it's existential in its crisis.
Nicole was refreshingly candid when discussing just how daring this film is. I couldn't believe they gave us the money to make it, she laughed. The sexuality of it, the rawness, it's not written for a 20 or even a 30-year-old. That's what makes it so special.
There were different points when it was like, I don't want to be looked at, touched in any way anymore. No more.
Her co-star Harris Dickinson had nothing but praise for Nicole and their on-screen chemistry. He shared how they worked closely with an intimacy coordinator to ensure everything felt comfortable and authentic. We'd have a discussion with the intimacy coordinator, and then Nicole and I kind of did our own thing with it once we set the parameters of what we were both comfortable with, he told Variety.
To be honest, I never thought I'd be like laying on a floor at a rave with Nicole Kidman, so yeah, not a bad day at work.
Now, let's talk about those intimate scenes for a second. Nicole admitted that even with her experience, acting out multiple orgasm scenes had her blushing. It's insane that I still blush, she shared. But that's a good thing, I suppose. I was so in character. It felt sacred to keep that process private.
It didn't scare me at all. It captivated me.
Now, who do you think was the biggest Oscar snub this year? And are you rooting for Mikey and Anora this award season? Share your thoughts in the comments.